is a lot going on in planner conference world, so we definitely have to talk about all of that. We have a little bit of breaking news regarding the Chicago Stationery Fest. This is something that was not on my radar at all. I literally just heard about this like a day or two ago. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm so glad, more conferences are happening, blah, blah, blah. That definitely still stands. But it looks like they have gotten themselves into a bit of a pickle. It seems like the tickets, specifically the single day tickets, might have been oversold. So apparently on day one, there was a super long wait for people to get into the venue. People who got into the venue, it was way overcrowded. People were like shoulder to shoulder, not really able to like move around, see all the vendors, really enjoy it. And on day two, it looks like they have been managing the crowd way better, but the way they've gone about it doesn't seem that great, because I've seen in their comments, and also a few people who I follow who are there on their IG stories, saying that they had a ticket for day two and their ticket was canceled. So they're not able to attend. I'm assuming, refunds will be given, but, some people actually traveled for this. Right, one in particular person I saw, they actually traveled from California for this, and they're not even able to experience the festival at all because of this. And I believe this is like, it's because of a stationery shop in Chicago decided to put this on, and it's their first year. And obviously, first year, they're always trying to iron out the kinks.
Gonna be some kinks.
Yeah, trying to figure out what works and stuff. But this is definitely a rough start for them, because the comments going crazy. Like, people are I took screenshots of the comments because I felt like they were probably gonna turn it off at some point, because they turned off the comments on another post. But yeah, somebody said extremely hot and packed once I was inside, no water in sight, and I could barely get a look at any vendors' tables. Sucks for attendees and all the vendors who traveled to be here. Would have loved to spend money and support them, but physically could not. I have a day two pass, but I have no reason to try again today. It was going to be the same. That's what somebody said after their experience with day one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like day one was less manageable. And like you said, like, I mean, this is the first one. There's going to be some kinks or whatever. I think they kind of messed up with the single day tickets, because from the comments, because a lot of people are hot that it was at first you have to buy both days. And I guess it's closer when they got to the conference. It's like, okay, we'll do 1 or 2 days. I think they messed up with that. Like,
for sure.
It's so easy. And we talked about this kind of a little bit offline too. Like, I follow a lot of like anime and Comic Cons type thing. Usually for those like smaller ones are just getting started. What messes them up is selling 1 day passes. The logistic on it is just, it's a lot. It's a lot, because you have people that does buy both days. You have people that's going to buy one or the other or whatever, but then you have to keep up to make sure you're not overselling. And I think this is what happened when they offered the single day. They end up overselling.
Agreed. I totally agree, because somebody else said, if people who have tickets are having to wait for hours to get in, you sold too many tickets. The fact that you set up a waitlist website indicates that you knew that this would be the case. I hope you'll be refunding people. I feel bad for anyone who traveled to attend in particular. Yeah, exactly. Like, and I mean, because like Possum, one of our patrons, was able to attend, and she's in the chat now letting us know that this was way better, way less crowded. She said by 4 there was barely anyone in the marketplace. That's great for anybody who made it for day two. Yeah. But on day one, I feel like they lost a lot of people, because I mean, we had people, like I said, either getting their second day tickets just straight up canceled, so they didn't even have the option to try to go, or people who did have the option to try to go decided not to because of how hectic day one was. And that sucks for the vendors too, because it's like, now you probably have the space and availability for people to be able to get to you, and ain't nobody there because day one was so trash. It really, really sucks. Hopefully they learn a really good lesson from this. Like you said, I think it's a bad look anyway to force people to initially buy tickets for both days and then give other people who waited the option of only getting 1 day or the other. That would already have put like a bad taste in my mouth. If I was one of those people who really only cared about 1 day, but I was forced to get both days, and now other people are only able to get 1 day, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, I say if you start with telling people, hey, you can only buy 2-day tickets, you got to stick beside it. Maybe that's
Mm-hmm.
something you visit the
Next
next
year.
time. Yeah, next time
Mm-hmm.
you do the event. But it's messed up for people who are like, okay, I'll just go ahead and get 2-day. I
Yeah.
really only want to do one, but they don't offer that. And then you
Mm-hmm.
offer that later. And then you have the logistics,
Yeah.
I'm sure, of people being like, hey, can I just
Mm-hmm.
do one? I really just wanted to do one. Can I have my money back? And
Mm-hmm.
just stick beside it. Like, I get y'all may feel like, okay, we can sell a little bit more tickets if we offer, 1-day
Yeah.
passes, but it's just either do that in the beginning or say we'll look at that next year.
Yeah.
My
You can't
suggestion,
have
don't
both
do that.
ways. Don't do that. Don't do that until you really know what you're doing. Yeah. And Julie
Yeah.
had a good question in the chat. She said, and how did they decide who to cancel?
Yeah,
Exactly.
like it's just a lottery. Like, do you go with the
I
last
know.
people who bought? Like,
That's
and it
not fair
sound
to
like some,
them.
yeah, it sound like some of the people got canceled had 2-day
Mm-hmm.
passes.
Mm-hmm. Which is crazy.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
yeah.
pretty crazy. So I definitely wish them the best. I hope that if they try to do this again next year, they can definitely lock down the logistics a little bit better. And I mean, I feel like we talk about all the time, like we have never tried to throw a planner conference because the shit is hard. The shit is hard. It's way harder than I think what it looks like to people on the outside.
Yeah.
I think that particularly the conferences in this community have made it seem very seamless, and it's absolutely not at all. And I think that, obviously it's fair for people to have their like criticisms or the issues, but it's, people don't know what fully goes into it if they're not actually doing it. And the shit is hard as hell, and it's gonna take some time. I mean, next year for them probably not gonna be perfect either. Like, it's probably never gonna be perfect, but you just get better the
Each
more
and
that
every
you do
time,
it.
yeah.
And I definitely think, not that my advice means anything. Like, I've never thrown a planner conference, but I would think that starting small is probably better. Like, don't do too much. Don't try to get too greedy. Like, don't try to sell 1,000,001 tickets. Like, kind of start small and build. And I think, especially in this community where there's so much interest and so much love for stationery, and especially in a city like Chicago, like it was bound to be very popular, and a lot of people were going to want to go. And I could see, maybe if they initially only had like 300 tickets for sale and they sold out right away. And then you got people in your comments, people coming to your store telling you like, oh, we really want to go to this. Y'all sold out. And so of course they're going to naturally like, oh, maybe we can, try to let a few more people in. And then before you know it, you got a situation like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, like stationery, like folks love stationery. They may not necessarily be within the planner community. So you're not even, it's not just this subsection of the planner community. Like, it's a bigger thing. Like, stationery
Yeah.
is huge, and you're marketing as a stationery fest. So you kind of have to
You
keep
gotta
that in mind
deliver.
too. Sometimes,
Yeah.
and also scarcity is sometimes a good thing. People are going to remember like, oh, damn, I couldn't get them tickets. Them tickets went by. Look, Chicago Planner Conference. Speaking of
I
Chicago,
know.
they have a
This is why they
reputation to
sell
be
out
like, yeah,
every
if you
year.
want to go, you need to lock in. And, it sucks. Like, I know people don't want to feel pressured into like being at the keyboard
Yeah.
immediately once it goes on sale. But
Yeah.
when
You gotta,
you got to do what
yeah.
you can, like what you have.
Do
Yeah.
what you can and grow slow.
Yeah.
Grow slow,